Hey, you know what's awesome? Voting. Hell yeah, voting was so awesome. I want everyone to know how awesome voting is. Well, luckily you can. Fair Fight is a grassroots organization started by Stacey Abrams in Georgia. Their mission is to fight for voters' rights and encourage people to vote. There's a Senate runoff election in Georgia on Tuesday, January 5th. They're focusing their efforts on those races now with volunteers and donations, so that's certainly one way we can help folks vote right now. That's so good to hear. I almost feel kind of okay about the future. It will be a hard fight, but progress is definitely being made. Well, until then, let's roll the video. Today, we're going to be doing some festive soldering, because nothing says happy holidays like molten solder. Let's roll the time lapses. So I actually got both of these kits off Tindy in 2018, so that's 2 years ago now. And I felt badly for the past 2 holiday seasons because I didn't feel like I had time to solder them, and I was right, I didn't. But I'm glad that I didn't have time, because both these kits are kind of challenging in their own way, and I'm not sure that I would have been able to assemble them as well as I did like a year ago or 2 years ago. So just to take a closer look at what's happening with each of these, first let's take a look at the PCB tree from Brian Locke, who's a buddy of mine, cool dude. He's working on a revised version of this, I believe, for next year. You can still get this one in his shop, and I will link his Tindy shop and Mr. Twinkle Twink's shop down in the description, but you're probably not gonna get it for a Christmas delivery now, but you know, buy it now and solder it later. That's what I did. So basically it's like Tiny 85 is running this. The LEDs are Charlie plexed, and you can change the mode with this button. You hold it down, and then you can see now we're like changing where which LED is lit up, and that's to show you what mode you're going into. Like that one's upsettingly fast. That's pretty fun. So yeah, and then really clever use of this battery holder here, so it acts as a stand for the tree. Very nice. The other thing that's special about it, and something it actually has in common with the ornament next to it, is it's using regular surface mount LEDs, but they are just mounted, they're just reverse mounted. So basically that means that like the back of the LED is facing up so that it can shine through the substrate here to get that really nice effect. That is a little challenging though, because it means your LED isn't going to be flush with the board. So that is why I am glad I waited to solder this, because definitely a little bit better with my surface mount soldering skills now. Definitely doable, but just something to kind of keep in mind. You want to like take your time. I definitely fried, I think 2 or 3 LEDs for the PCB tree, but really cool kit, and Brian's a cool dude, so very nice. And then we have this 2018 ornament by Mr. Twinkle Twink. You've probably seen his PCB art around on the internet. He famously designed the Lucky Osh Cat, which was kind of the unofficial mascot for Osh Park, besides Prince Osh Cat, of course. On the back you have this tiger, like just super cool. This is another kit I haven't soldered up. I do have the LEDs for it. And I think he did a redesign with the Lucky Osh Cat where it's wearing a mask, very 2020 appropriate. So yeah, you've probably seen his art around if you see any electronics Twitter things. So this is really cool. Unfortunately not available anymore because it was a 2018 kind of special thing, but really great use of the different layers of the PCB to get the shine through effect, get this nice gold showing for the detail on the ornament. And also he put this like kind of sparkly paint layer on the top to give it, it has a nice texture and just make it extra shiny. And much like the PCB tree, we're using reverse mount LEDs, but LEDs that are not meant to necessarily be reverse mount, and these are slow changing RGB LEDs, which are some of my favorite. I've actually never been able to find surface mount ones, but I used some through-hole ones for my own ornament design, which was also in 2018, and I'm forgetting if it was a happy accident or if I saw his and was like, yeah, I want to make an ornament. Could go either way, I'm not sure. But yeah, so his is much fancier than mine. But yeah, runs off 2 AAA batteries, has a power switch, and you just solder up the LEDs. There's no resistors or anything, it's just straight connected to the battery, and you got some fancy color magic. I'd have to say this one's probably a little bit more difficult because the footprint on the PCB is a lot bigger than the LED, so you kind of have to do the solder bridging thing where you're almost kind of pulling the solder over to the LED, and he talks about that in his Hackaday write-up. So definitely an advanced soldering project, and very glad I waited, because if I had tried to solder this in 2018, it would not have gone well. I only fried 2 LEDs, and he did include 5 extras, so I was in good shape there. Also, look at this back detail as well, using the solder mask to get kind of a swirly effect. Very nice. 2 very festive and very pretty holiday kits. But I hope you enjoyed this festive soldering. Stay safe this holiday season. Maybe stay in and, you know, do some soldering. But I'm Liz, this is Blitzzy DIY. Happy holidays.